In June, Governor Umo of Akwa Ibom joined the APC, citing a desire to align our state with the center to attract more federal presence. He defended the move by pointing to delayed infrastructure like the Ibom Deep Seaport and claiming that if just one terminal was built as a result, the switch would be worth it. But this reasoning exposes a deeper troubling norm in Nigerian politics, where leaders trade party loyalty for development. Yet the blame doesn't lie solely with the defectors. In a system where federal resources often seem more accessible to those aligned with the ruling party, defection becomes less a choice than a strategy for survival. Development begins to look like a reward, not a right. This is not leadership. It is political coercion by design. State projects should be delivered based on need and national planning, not party membership. And governors should be loyal to their people's mandate, not to power brokers in Abuja. Nigerians must demand more. We need leaders who stand on principle and a federal government that distributes resources justly. Until then, defections like this one will keep happening, and democracy will continue to suffer for it.
I have a lot of thoughts. I would like to say our political parties have no ideology. Politicians cross carpets based on their personal interest and hardly ever about the communal interest. But when governors say they are defecting because they are trying to get more allocation to their state, I will consider that a cop-out. Because again, Lagos allocation was held for years during Obasanjo's regime, and we didn't say, oh, I'm defecting because our allocation are being withheld. State governors, they need to do more. They need to take more responsibility for their people and development in their state. You know, and also work towards self-sufficiency. At the end of the day, the national cake we are all going to Abuja to, you know, go and get a slice of, it's going to finish. It's going to dry up. So we all need to know why we are where we are and the things we need to do to get there. But be that as it may, again, it's a case of you said, she said. They said if I don't do this, this is going to happen.
It's you know, it's interesting that Wamaka believes that Governor Umo wanted to defect.
Everybody is asking for their second term.
It's not what I believe, it's what he said.
Yeah,
it's not what I believe, it's what he said.
Because when Governor Sharif of Delta State as well defected from PDP to APC, he said exactly the same thing. He wants to pivot to the center for development purposes. Politicians never defect for the interests of their people. They defect for their personal interests. And the reason why I know that is exactly what Zuma said. They have no ideology. They have no guiding principle. In fact, I think I did an advocacy here focused on that. They have no guiding principle. The only principle they believe in is personal interest. I mean, today, Peter Obi wants to convince us that it is it's ADP that is the
party that would give us the light.
So
ADC.
He once swore that he was going to die in
LP.
In Akwa, and then suddenly it's PDP that's the best, and then LP, and now I'm going to do one term in ADC. So look, politicians, anybody that believes what they say should just
I have an airport to sell you.
Be ready to go and buy, a phantom airport, somewhere, because they don't really believe in that. But should we have a good look at the way our politics is managed and say to ourselves that we should de-emphasize the center? And I think that's exactly what you're trying to speak out, that we should de-emphasize it. And I believe so much in the restructuring of this country to experience real fiscal federalism. What we're doing right now, the center is too powerful, it's too big, it's too, it's voluminous. We need to break down that power. We need to devolve power to the regions. We need the states to really have the resources and then be contributing just a portion of it to the center. And once we do that, many people will not be so much interested in being president. Maybe development will really go to the grassroots.
Basically, I like what you said. Projects should be based on need and national planning. okay, not based on politics. But even if it were based on politics, it would have been good. At least we are seeing the project. But what they claim doesn't even happen. That's my point. Like, the issue of decentralizing ports in Nigeria, I think, has been of concern to me, and I'm sure many well-meaning Nigerians, including Lagosians, that suffer the congestion of the Lagos ports. But will truly Akwa Ibom get another port because somebody has the camp? If that will even happen, though the underlying principle is wrong, we'll have even said there will be some advantage, but I can assure you that there will be no special federal projects either in Akwa Ibom or in any other state where they had the camp. It's going to always be business as usual. How they are done the planning, we don't know, because, as you said, it's clearly not based on need or national planning. Maybe it will be who is going to lobby more and all that. But I think beyond that, let's also stay on the topic about everybody trying to join the ruling party. Like, I really don't understand it, because though the center is big and powerful, there's really no direct incentive. The states have their own allocations. You know, they have the power to do. I think, for me, let's call a spade a spade. It's about protection during the next elections. It's not about resources, who has more or less, okay? It's about, we know that the instruments of force and government is only at the national level. Who has the police, who has the armed forces, who has INEC? So for me, I think let's just call a spade a spade.
For the governor of Akwa Ibom to say that, it comes back to what Yinka said at the beginning, that this is all about personal interest at the end of the day. Akwa Ibom is resource rich. It's an oil-rich state. They have Ibom Air. All the governors, without exception, are collecting a windfall, as it were, from the removal of subsidies. So what is he saying about federal presence? Having said that, PBAT just gave a huge sum of money to the rail project in Enugu without the Southeast asking for it. You know, so that shows that you don't have to go cap in hand to say, let development come to us. Again, for Akwa Ibom governor to say that, maybe he's just been trying to be clever by half, or maybe his aides are putting words into his mouth. Why? Because we have a Minister Wike who remains in PDP and works for APC. He's not under pressure to join APC. He's done all he's doing within the PDP.
And that's strategic.
Now, yeah, so we're talking about a state CEO. He's an adult. He knows what he's doing. Nobody is pressuring him.
And he works for the APC while in the PDP
in
as a governor.
PDP, so
is an outlier.
you know the point I'm making. No, Wamaka, the point I'm making is he is not under any pressure. I'll give you the example of the Osun State governor, who wanted to join APC, by the way. They rejected him.
Really interesting.
It's in the papers. I read it.
Oh, Adeleke.
Yes, Governor Adeleke. The Osun State APC said, no, don't join us. So you see, what the points I'm making is, nobody is under pressure. Those governors are not under pressure to join APC. They are joining of their own accord. Because if you stood aloof and say, no, I don't want to join, like Minister Wike, nobody is going to hold your neck to it. They're all receiving money from the center, from the removal of oil subsidy.
So I wonder about that.
If they actually build a port in Akwa Ibom because of this, I will also decamp.
You have a camp. Do you even have a camp right now?
So I think that we need to look at a pattern that has emerged recently. The scale of defections, in my perception, I would like to go and tally it, it's unprecedented. They're usually defections, but this is really high. And I think that we should interrogate what is causing that. Is it just that people individually are saying they're joining, or is there some deal making at the back where people are being promised? It doesn't mean that they're exonerated, for falling to those promises, but are people actually being promised certain things, and are certain things being withheld if they do not kowtow, to the center or join a particular party? Something strange is going on, and I think that we need to interrogate that. These are not just, they don't appear to be random happenings.
It's a personal interest going on.
I think she has a point. It's beyond personal interest, because what does a governor want?
There are many ways we can look at things, but I think we should begin to consider the possibility because of the patterns and see if are there patterns emerging, and if they are, is there smoke and is there fire? As long as democracy groans under the weight of lawlessness and impunity, our voices will continue to be muzzled and even stolen.
We certainly can't have that in Wamaka, which is why I continue to speak out to balance the scales and bridge the gap.